Hi, friends, and welcome back to Handy Dandy Living. And if you're new, welcome. In today's video, we're going to discuss some tips to make your vegetable gardening easy, affordable, and successful. So if you're interested, stay tuned. So, tip number one, always make sure that you're being safe, you're assessing what you want to do with your vegetable garden, and making sure that it's reasonable, making sure that what you want to do, you're capable of. And here, as you can see, I have my husband helping me to clean out the beginning because last year when we cleaned out the vegetable bed, there were baby rabbits, and honestly, I'm not trying to pop up on any baby rabbits and have to deal with that. So I have him doing the very first part, and then once that is cleared out and I know that it's bunny, snake, and any other animal free, then I can get started with this part. So be reasonable, know what you're willing to do, and then you can move forward. Tip number two, assess the area that you're going to place your vegetables. Think about how many vegetables you want. Think about the vegetables that you normally eat. So I would say to maybe pick 2 to 3 vegetables, and I talked about this in another video, maybe even the last video that I did, a transplanting video, so starting your seeds. So even if you haven't done that already, that's okay, because this video is going to be about doing a variety. So we're going to do some transplants, we're going to put some seeds in the ground, and we're also going to put in some vegetables that we bought from the store that were started. So we'll have different levels of variety of the plants, and we're going to put those in. So think about what you want to plant, what may be easy. If you're a beginner, I would start with the vegetables that are usually the easiest. And then if you Google them and Google your zone that you're in, and sometimes that may not even matter. So think about what's easy for you, what is manageable for you. So if it's only 2 to 3 vegetables, then that's what you start with, and then build on that each season or each year. So think about where you're going to plant your vegetables and what you want to plant, and then you can move on from there. As you can see here, we had to treat the garden bed for ants. So insects, bugs, those things are natural to help the plant grow or help the plant grow naturally. But in my opinion, we just have too many ants for me, for my liking, and so I decided to treat the ground. I did some research, so that's another thing. Assess your area and then see if you need to do some tweaking. Maybe you need to put down or treat for some kind of bugs or insects. Maybe you need to do some cleaning of the garden bed and then start with your planting. So always make sure that you clean your area and do what you need to do so that you can start with a healthy soil to put your plants in. Okay, so back to the vegetables that you decide to plant. So last year we planted okras, tomatoes, and was it squash? No, it was not squash. There were some other vegetables that we planted, but all of the vegetables that we planted on time, they all turned out very well. So there were maybe 3 or 4 vegetables that turned out well. So I said, well, this year, since those all turned out well, we're going to bump it up this year, and we're just going to go for it. So this year, instead of 3 to 4, because we started out as a beginner, as a true beginner last year, so this year we're just going full force, and I'm going to see what I can do. And again, this is trial and error. What works for you may not work for someone else. So you may see something here that works for me that may not work for you, depending on where you live, your soil, where your placement in the yard. So depending on how the sun and the shade works for your vegetable garden. So keep all of those things in mind. Make sure that you're looking up the vegetables, what they need, how much sunlight, the depth to plant the seeds, if you decide to plant the seeds in the ground, all of those things matter when you're planting. So think about those factors. Have fun. And just so think about what works for you, record that, and then repeat, and then build on that. So another tip is plant your vegetables at different growth periods. So maybe you want to put a tomato seed in the ground and then a tomato transplant in the ground, meaning there's already some growth, and then a tomato plant that maybe you bought from the store for about maybe $2 to $4. So we're not spending a lot of money, remember? So put a plant in the ground that has some flowers or some tomatoes on it already, some fruit. So you have the same plant but at different periods of growth, and that way all season long you have all the vegetables. And honestly, with a tomato plant, just in case you don't know, depending on the type that you get, unless you have a big family, you should be fine with maybe one tomato plant, depending on how much you love tomatoes. Like personally, for us, I think that one tomato plant would be fine for us. Maybe the cherry tomatoes, those are the smaller tomatoes, and then maybe one beefsteak tomato, and that's pretty much what we have here. So honestly, there's no point for us to have any more tomato plants because we just don't eat tomatoes a lot. But when it comes to strawberries, we have lots of those. My son loves strawberries. So the main thing is to plant your vegetables based on what you like and plant them at different periods of growth. So one of the advantages of planting your own vegetables is that you get to save money. So if you already went to the store and let's say you have some peppers in the fridge, make sure that you do not throw those seeds away. So we're trying to save our money and be resourceful. Use those seeds and put them in the ground. You don't have to go and buy a pack of seeds. There are more than plenty seeds inside of a pepper that is grown. So this would be called an heirloom plant or vegetable. And so also think about that when you're purchasing seeds or you're purchasing plants. You can purchase a plant for maybe $2, depending on where you get it from, that already has fruit on it or some kind of vegetable on it. I'm just saying fruit because we say plants bear fruit. Anywho, you can get a plant for maybe $2 and have it produce vegetables for you for years and years and years, because it's an heirloom plant. When it has or the fruit or the vegetable, it can have seeds, which means you can then use those seeds again and grow more vegetables and more and more and more. It just multiplies. So think about that too when you're deciding about the vegetables that you want to plant, especially if you're in a tight situation where maybe you don't have the time or the money to throw away, possibly if you're not going to have any growth from the vegetables. Let's say it's a big risk for you to spend a couple of dollars on starting a vegetable garden because it's new to you. Then think about using or starting with heirloom vegetables. Lastly, don't be afraid to beautify your vegetable garden with some flowers. Also, this is another way to naturally protect your vegetable from being eaten by insects or rabbits or what have you, other animals that may love your vegetables too. Plants like sage, marigolds, and there are a lot of others. Just look them up. Or if you want to know more about it, let me know in the comment section. I'll put it in the comment section for you. Or I can do a whole nother video on this. So you just let me know in the comment section. But if you want to beautify your vegetable garden with some color by flowers, make sure that there are plants or flowers that naturally protect your vegetables. Think of it as a 2-for-1. I hope that you all found this video helpful. Make sure that you subscribe for the future videos that will have more about planting, gardening, outdoor cleaning, indoor, all the things to be affordable and beautify our lives and make it simple and easy and fun. Happy planning, you guys. I hope that you all have a great week. Thank you for watching. Take care.